If our time tomorrow will not be sufficient for the deliberation on the sufficiency of Masa et al. Complaint, we can schedule further proceedings on the succeeding Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Okay po. Chong Malapos po from DCRJ. Gusto ko pang malinawan lang kung meron po bang timetable o ilang araw po dapat talakayin ng Committee on Justice itong impeachment complaint kay PBBM? Ganong may BP Sara complaint din ang darating?
Well, under the rules, regardless of whatever impeachment complaints are pending before the committee, we're supposed to submit our committee report to the plenary not beyond the period of 60 session days, no? But if you're talking about the definite time we're supposed to spend with regards to the impeachment against the president, there is no definite time. It depends really on the progress of the deliberation. Yes, there will be two separate votings. First, voting on the sufficiency of De Jesus complaint, and second, voting on the sufficiency of the Masa et al. Complaint. To the question, if one complaint is declared insufficient in substance and the other complaint is declared sufficient in substance, we will be proceeding to the issuance of notice to require an answer from the respondent. Meaning, tuloy ang impeachment proceeding.
Sunod na tanong po, Tricia.
If both are insufficient in substance, then that means that the impeachment proceeding is terminated already because of the failure to meet the standards of sufficiency in substance of both complaints. The committee report that we will be issuing by the Justice Committee will be subject to the approval of the plenary by at least 1/3 vote of all its members. Correct. The decision of the Justice Committee with respect to the insufficiency in substance, once it reached the plenary, can be overridden, pwedeng mabaligtad by way of at least 1/3 votes of all the members of the House. In that event, ibabalik sa Justice Committee yung committee report and we will be constrained to come up with our articles of impeachment.
Tricia. Oh, dito na.
Krisha po. Kongs, can you talk about the significance of the motion made earlier, whether to include or exclude po yung authenticity ng documents, and how might that shape how the lawmakers will vote tomorrow regarding the sufficiency of substance?
Ako nasasagot kasi ako ata yung nag... Ako po yung nag-raise ng bagay po na yan. Well, malaking bagay po yung authentic documents kasi una, authentic documents at personal knowledge. No? Ang totoo po, doon sa mga katulad na binigit ko kanina, doon sa previous impeachment complaints, at the level po of form, may isang impeachment complaint po na na-terminate. Impeachment proceeding na-terminate on the basis of no personal knowledge at wala pong authentic documents. So, ibig sabihin, kung papalusutin ho natin, even at the level of determination of sufficiency in substance, yung pong unauthenticated submissions at no personal knowledge, meron po itong real impact not just on this impeachment proceeding, but on all impeachment proceedings moving forward. Kasi hindi naman ho pwedeng parang gumawa lang ako ng inventong dokumento, di ba? Tapos yun po yung i-file ko or wala pong taong pwede makapag-authenticate po ng dokumento pong ito. So, well, ginagalang ho natin yung inabot po ng boto. Very tight po yung inabot po ng boto na ito. Pero tingin ko naman po ay na-elicit po dito yung tamang appreciation na dapat lahat ng mga dokumento, including the annexes being submitted in an impeachment complaint, should be an authenticated document, or secondly, based po on personal knowledge.
Neither policy difference nor a criminal act automatically warrant the impeachable offense, the filing of an impeachable, a complaint on impeachable offense, no? Hindi porket merong pagkakaiba sa policy direction, hindi porket guilty of an offense, ay guilty na rin ng impeachable offense. Let us be mindful na very restrictive ang grounds for impeachment. 6 yan. And we cannot go beyond. Yung offense being alleged should constitute at least a ground for impeachment. Pag hindi ka nakabuo ng isang ground for impeachment, then this will fail, no? As a matter of fact, this is the purpose of determination of sufficiency in substance. The recital of facts should constitute an offense which is included among the impeachable offenses or grounds. The fact that you are guilty of an act or omission punishable by law does not necessarily mean that you're guilty of an impeachable offense. Kung yung act or omission does not constitute either some or all of the following: culpable violation, betrayal of public trust, treason, bribery, graft and corruption, and other high crimes, then this does not warrant the impeachment of the public official. You should be able to connect the offense alleged to the ground for impeachment, no? Kung yung bang offense na ina-allege, does it constitute a ground for impeachment, no? For example, kanina, may allegations ng graft and corruption citing the kickbacks and the flood control controversies. Question, do they constitute graft and corruption as one of the grounds for impeachment? Yun yung mga sagot, tanong na sasagutin ng mga members ng Justice Committee when they vote tomorrow on the sufficiency in substance of the 2 impeachment complaints. As far as we are concerned, we are facing this constitutional mandate, no? As to whether how people perceive this, that is beside the point. We are addressing our constitutional duty to look into, investigate, and hear the impeachment complaints. As to how the people perceive this impeachment complaint, that is not a matter for us to decide. I don't recall of any. Kaya lang second term ko pa lang, no? I don't know with the senior members if there have been an occasion like that.
Okay?
O kayo naman tatanungin ko. What do you think of the sufficiency in substance of the first complaint?